channel. So in this particular video, we'll discuss about how to place orders using Smart API. So in the last video, we also discussed how to set up the Smart API using Python. So in this particular video, we'll proceed further and look at how to place orders. So coming to placing orders, so there's a CSV dump which the Angel keeps updating regularly. So as you can see, this is the endpoint which is mentioned to get the dump of all the tradable instruments. So if I just go to this, so as you can see, this is just a JSON file which has information of all the tradable instruments for which I could place orders, or I could also get the historical data of it. So currently we'll see how to place orders and how to do the setup. So coming to my Jupyter notebook, so as you can see, as a first step, I just logged in and I did an account setup, for which you can just refer to my previous video, or I can also put it in the end of the video. So as you could see, this is the URL which the Angel is updating regularly. So as you can see, this is just a JSON file which has all the list of all the traded instruments. So we'll be using the pandas data frame. We will be using the pandas Python library to work with this, since it's a huge database. So I've already declared the URL, and then I'm just importing pandas, and then I'm converting the JSON. I'm reading the JSON format into and creating a pandas data frame. So let's run it. Yeah. So now, as you can see, the dump has all the data what it has read from the JSON file. I could just quickly print it, and as you can see, this is just the same as what you see in the JSON, but in a tabular format, which has the information about the token, and which also has information about the symbol and what is the name of the instrument and what is expiry. Obviously expiry comes into picture when you're dealing with derivative contracts. And then you also have the exchange segment. So the exchange segment here could be many exchanges, like it could be NSE or it could be BSE. And then for derivatives, obviously you have the NFO segment as well. So we'll also see how to get a particular instrument or how to get a particular token number out of it. And to place orders, you would obviously need the information about the symbol and about the token, and you would also need on which exchange you want to place the order at. So as you could see, this is the dump which basically has all the tradable instruments, and which I just stored it as an data frame, pandas data frame. So in the next step, or maybe just for the ease of access, you could also just save it into an Excel sheet, which I already did. So as you can see, this is how the data looks like. So I've just stored it locally in Excel sheet, and here as you can see, we have different exchange segments. So here I could just filter the data. So as you could see, these are the different segments that we have, or the exchanges that we have. Let's say I'm interested only in the instruments which are on NSE, so I was just gonna filter it. And let's say I'm interested in SBIN, then I could just simply search for it. And as you can see, this is the symbol name and this is the token number for SBIN. So as you can see, EQ is mentioned because this basically talks about the equity segment of it, because we also have options contract and the futures contract for SBIN. And let's say if I'm looking at the options contract of SBIN, then I would just simply uh, change the exchange and just keep the name as SBIN. So this should return even the derivative contracts as well. So yeah, so here as you can see, we have EQ, which basically is the equity segment in NSE, and we have the SBIN, which is basically the corresponding signal for BSE, and followed by we also have the list of all the NFO segments. And if you look in the NFO segment, you also have the different instrument types, because here we also have the futures as well. So you could also filter it as well. So here as you can see, we have the future stock and the option stock. So let's say I'm just interested in future stock. So as you can see, these are the current active SBIN contracts which are currently trading, and which I could trade using the Smart API. So the only information which is needed from this Excel sheet would be the token number and the symbol in which you are interested in, followed by the exchange on which you want to place the order at. Now we have already discussed about how the Excel sheet looks like and how you could filter the components which you are interested in. So currently we could also do the same using the pandas as well. So because we have already stored it in the data frame, So as you could see, this is how it looks like. So currently I'm interested in the SBN equity segment, and I'm also looking for the exchange of NSE. So since this particular condition, it returns only the true or false of it. So that's why we are inputting it to the pandas data frame, so that it gives you that particular element where these conditions are met, wherein the symbol is equal to SBN EQ and followed by the exchange segment is equal to NSE. So I'll just run it, and I could just print it. So as you can see, it has already written the information, and this is what I'm interested in currently. The token number of the SBN equity is 3045 and followed by the exchanges NSE. Let's say I'm looking for the options. So what I would do is a dump of name equal to SBN. So EQ is not relevant anymore because we're talking about options, and the exchange segment could be NFO then. So let's say I just run it, and now my token info would have multiple tradable instruments, because we also have the options and also the futures coming in it now. Put the values by expiries, so that you would always have the latest expiries in the beginning. So since now the token info already contains information about all the different derivative contracts, so I would just sort it by values, and I would need sorting by expiry. So by equal to, and I'm interested to sort it by expiry. So as you can see, expiry is also one of the column in the data frame, right? So I just run it, and as you can see, the expiry is sorted, and here you could see you will always have the latest expiry available. Let's say I'm only interested in futures, so I would just input another condition and dump of instrument type equal to FUTSTK. So that's the keyword which we have also seen in the Excel sheet, right? So let's say I just run it, and as you can see, you also have the future stock options which are currently traded and which are also sorted by the expiry. So let's say if I just access the first element of it, so it would always be the current expiry. So that's how you could also automate some of your strategies wherein you are working on the current expiry. So this just give you some hints on how to fetch the token number in which you are interested in by giving any of the input conditions to your pandas data frame. So currently, since we're looking at the order placing, so currently I'm interested only in the NSE segment. So I'll just try to fetch the token information for SBN. So the symbol I'm currently looking at on NSE is SBIN plus in equity segment, and followed by the exchange would be the NSE. So here, as you can see, this returns the token number in which I'm interested in currently, wherein I would like to show an example how to place the orders for SBN equity. So as you could see, this is how the order parameter looks like. So wherein you have the variety, where if you want to place a normal order, followed by the trading symbol and the symbol token. So these two are basically very uh, special, and which basically depends on which particular instrument you want to place order for. So here you could first fetch the token information on the instrument that you want to place order at, and you could always parse it to the order parameters. So here you would need the trading symbol followed by the symbol token, and also followed by the transaction time if you want to buy it, transaction type if you want to buy it or sell it, and you here obviously you also need the exchange on where exactly do you want to place the order at. Let's say if you are interested in options, then the exchange would be NFO. And there is also order type, and what is the order type, whether it's a market order or it's a limit order. And since it's a limit order, then you obviously also have to give the price at which you want to enter the order at, and what is the duration of the order. So these are all multiple options that are currently available, but for the ease of access, maybe you can also skip many of them, and wherein only this much information is necessary to place the orders, like what is the trading symbol, what is the symbol type, transaction type, and what is the exchange, and what is the order type. So as you can see, this is just a simple function to place an order. So smart API, since we have already initialized it, so the simple function would be the smart API dot place order with all the parameters that whatever we have defined. And one thing here, so as you can see, the token info, what it gives is basically a data frame object, right? So that's why we need to read the values out of it. So let's say even if I try to read the token info of the symbol that I'm currently interested in, because this information is required to the order placing function, right? So as you can see, this always returns an object. So what we are interested in is basically the value of it. So that's why we parse the values of it. And let's say even if I give the values of it, so as you can see, it is an array of two elements, and as you can see, we are interested only in the first element. So that's why it would be dot values of the first element. So if I just run it quick, so as you can see, this is the token info symbol which I'm interested in. So this token info symbol is basically an object, and we are interested only in the values, and the values content, since it's an array, we are only interested in the first element. So this is how you parse your trading symbol and the symbol token. So you could just write it as a function, and you could just give the trading symbol and the symbol token to your order function. So I'll just run it. So as you can see, the status is true and the message is successful. And as you can see, it also returns the order ID. So which basically makes sure that an order is already put on the exchange. You can also try to, log in into your trading terminal, and you could also check for the order symbols. So that was just a quick video on how to place orders. Maybe in the next video, we'll also discuss about different indicators which could be used, and we'll also talk about the historical API in the upcoming videos. Thank you all.